part of your homework was to work on quoted speech. Quoted speech. So when we talk about quoted speech, we're talking about using quotation marks, which are these guys, right? And telling exactly what someone said. You don't change a single word. So if someone said, you know, what is the homework? That's the question, so we would put it in quotation marks with a question mark. What is the homework? She asked. So this is quoted speech. There's always two parts in quoted speech. There's exactly what the person said in quotation marks, and then there's the reporting verb. So the person who was talking, and what did they do? Did they ask? Did they tell? Did they say? Did they beg? Did they whisper? There's so many reporting verbs. Oh, it's not a comma. You could say, she said, she told you, she yelled, she whispered, she stated. So those would all be for sentences, right? But if someone's asking, you would say she asked, she wondered. Got off the side here. So for a list of reporting verbs, you can look on page 260 in your book. And they have a list, but there's many more. So there's a lot of rules about how to punctuate exactly quoted speech. So you're always going to start with a capital letter. And you can start with the she said part, or you can start with the quote, with what exactly the person said. All right. So in this first case, we're starting with a reporting verb, she said. And you always separate the reporting verb from the quotation with a comma. So she said, comma, right? When you start with she said here, you have a capital at the beginning, but you also have a capital M. Why? Because right here, we are starting the quote. So it's the beginning of the sentence that the person said. Okay, and a lot of times people put quotation marks kind of floating in air. No, it has to touch the quote. And then same thing at the end. So in American English, we put the period first and then the quotation mark, no space between them. I know a lot of people do it backwards like this. I think there are plenty of countries that do it that way, but for American English, it's like that. Okay, and then the next section, my brother is a student, she said. Okay, so now we're starting with exactly what she said. So we're going to start with a quotation mark, make sure it's touching the M. We always put a comma between the quote and the reporting verb. We put the comma on the inside and then the quotation mark. Then there's one space here for she said. Now I'm not going to capitalize she said. So when the reporting person comes after the quote, there's no capital. And then just period at the end. Okay? You can also, it's less common, but you can put it in the middle, this she said. But remember that you separate it from commas, with commas, so that the quote is never touching the she said part. There's always a comma in the middle. And the quoted part has to be surrounded in quotation marks. Remember, period on the inside, quotation mark on the outside. There's a lot of little details, but they are important. Your teachers care. Okay? Now, in this case, we start with a quote the same way. My brother is a student. But notice we have a different word order here. So when you have she or he, a pronoun, we always put it first. He said, she said, they said. But it's very common when you use a person's name to switch the order. My brother is a student. So you can say, my brother is a student, Anna said. That's totally fine. But you're also going to see it in the reverse. My brother is a student, said Anna. All right, now we gave examples here with one sentence, but you can also do examples with two sentences. It's really the same. You can have she said at the beginning, you could put it in the middle, or you can put it at the end. The only difference is that if you put it in the middle, you're going to keep a period here. So, sorry, no, not this period. My brother is a student, comma, she said. I need to surround my quotes with quotation marks. So the exact words are the quotes. He is attending university. Oh, I have it at the end here. Let's take it off. My brother is a student, she said. He is attending university. So you can do it like that. Or you could put it at the beginning. Or you could put it at the end. So, in this case, this whole thing is the quote, so we wouldn't stop the quotation marks until here. Okay. So we've been saying said, 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 but remember if it's a question, you're going to use the word asked. And then what you put at the end depends on the order of your sentence. So if you start with a reporting verb, she asked, comma, what university is he going to? Remember that we have to start the quotation with a capital. I know it looks weird, comma plus capital, but that's how it goes. She asked, what university is he going to? And then we end with a question mark because we ended with the question. What university is he going to? Here, we're going to put the question mark here, right after the question is finished. We're going to put that in quotation marks. Now here, I know it's weird after the question mark to not have a capital, but really the sentence isn't finished yet, okay? So, what university is he going to? She asked. Now notice at the end you have a period, because she asked is a statement. So the question mark goes here and the period goes there. So those are the very basic rules for quoted speech. If you take reading and writing class, you will definitely use that information. So practice and make sure you know it really well.